Data handling using Pandas 1. The learning objectives are installing Pandas, creation of series from ND arrays, dictionary, list, and scalar value, mathematical operations on series, head and tail functions, selection from the series, indexing, and slicing the series. Now let us go through the steps to install Python Pandas. Open File Explorer and go to the folder C drive, users, username, app data, local, programs, Python, Python 38 and scripts. Once inside this specific folder, double click in the address bar. You will see the entire path of this folder in the address bar. Delete this path from the address bar and type cmd in the address bar. Now press enter. The command prompt will immediately open with the path of this current folder already set. Type the command pip install pandas in the command prompt and press enter. The downloading and the installation process will begin, and there will be a message of successful installation when finished. Creation of series. A series is a one-dimensional array-like data structure capable of holding homogeneous data of any data type. You may create a series by invoking the constructor method with 4 arguments, namely data, which may be an ND array, a list, a dictionary, or a scalar value. The index for the series, data type of the series, and the name of the series. You need to import pandas in your script. Let us take an example. ARR is an ND array which is created by invoking numpy arrange method with arguments 1201, 1207 and 1. It will hold values from 1201 to 1206. L1 is a list of names. L2 is a list of marks. D is a dictionary with names and marks as the key value pairs. S is a series which is created by invoking the constructor method without any arguments. You may see here in the output that the series is empty. S1 is a series which is created by passing the ND array ARR as the data and the string student roll number as the name. You may see here in the output that the default indexes are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, and the values are coming from the ND array. The name of the series is student roll numbers and the data type is int32. S2 is a series which is created by passing the list of names L1 as the data and the name as student names. In the output, you may see that the default indexes are again 0, 1, 2 and so on, and the values are coming from the list of names L1. The name of the series is student names and the data type is object. S3 is a series which is created by passing the scalar value 12 as the data and the ND array ARR as the index. The name of the series is given as student class. When printed, you may see here in the output that the indexes are coming from the ND array and the values are 12, which is a scalar value throughout. The name of the series is student class and the data type is object. S4 is a series which is created by passing the list of names L1 as the data and the ND array ARR as the index. In the output, you may see here that the indexes are coming from the ND array and the values are coming from the list of names L1. The data type of this list is object. S5 is a series which is created by passing the list of marks L2 as the data and the list of names L1 as the index. The data type of the series is float and the name of the series is term1. When printed, you may see here in the output that the indexes are coming from the list L1, which is a list of names, and the values are coming from the list L2, which is a list of marks. The name of this series is term1 and the data type of the series is float64. S6 is a series which is created by passing the dictionary D as the data, and the name of the series is given as student data. Please note, when you create a series from a dictionary, then the dictionary keys serve as indexes. So, in the series, the indexes are the dictionary keys and the values are the dictionary values. The name of the series is student data and the data type is int64. Attributes of the series. A Panda series has several attributes that describe the series, namely dtype, values, index, shape, endim, size, and name. Let us take some examples. S1 is a series which is created by passing the nd array ARR as the data. Print s1.dtype will return the data type of the values of the series which are coming from the nd array and is int32. S2 is a series which is created by passing the list of names L1 as the data. The statement print s2.values will return this list of names. S3 is a series which is created by passing the scalar value 12 as the data and the index as ARR. The statement print s3.index will print the index from the series which are coming from the nd array. The data type of the index is int64. S4 is a series which is created by passing a list of 6 names as the data. The statement print s4.shape will print a tuple with only one value, that is 6. S5 is a series which is created by passing a list of marks L2 as the data and the list of names L1 as the index. The statement print s5.endim will print 1 since the series is a one-dimensional object. S6 is a series which is created by passing the dictionary D as the data. The statement print s6.size will print 6, that is the total number of elements in the series. Print s6.name will print the name of the series which is student data. If the name is not specified, then the name is none. Mathematical operations on series. Addition can be performed using plus operator, add method or reverse add method. Subtraction can be done using minus operator, sub method or reverse sub method. Fill value is used to fill the existing nan values in a series with a valid value before the arithmetic operation. If it is not done, then any arithmetic operation on a nan will result in a nan. Let us take some examples. S1 is a series which is created by passing the list L2 as the data and the list L1 as the index. S2 is another series which is created by passing the list L3 as the data and the list L1 as the index. This is series 1 and this is series 2. The statement print S1 plus 10 will add 10 to each element of the series S1. So for Anish, 290 plus 10 will give us a 300. For Kirat, which is a nan, plus 10 will be a nan. The next statement print S2 dot add 5 comma fill value equal to 0 will first replace the nan values in the series S2 with a 0 and then add 5 to each element of the series S2. So for Anish, 308 plus 5 will be 313 and so on. For Dhairya, which is a nan, will first be replaced by a 0 plus 5 will give us a 5. The next statement print S1 minus 100 will subtract 100 from each element of the series S1. So for Anish, 290 minus 100 will give us 190 and so on. For Kirat, which is a nan, minus 100 will be a nan. The next statement print S1 dot R sub 500 comma fill value equal to 0 We'll first replace the NaN values in the series S1 with a 0 and then reverse subtract each value of the series S1 from 500. So for Anish, 500 minus 290 will give us 210 and so on. For Kirat, which is a NaN, will be first replaced by the value 0. Then 500 minus 0 will give us a 500. The next statement, print S1 plus S2, will add the corresponding elements from the series S1 and S2. So for Anish, 290 plus 308 will give us a 598 and so on. For Dhairya, which is 280 plus NaN, will give us a NaN. For Kirat, which is NaN plus 405, will give us a NaN. The next statement, print S2 minus S1, will subtract each element of S1 from the corresponding element of S2. So for Anish, 300 minus 290 will give us 18. For Dhairya, NaN minus 280 will be a NaN. For Kirat, 405 minus NaN will be again a NaN. True division or division can be done using slash operator, div method or rdiv method. Floor division or integer division can be performed using double slash, floor div or rfloor divide method. Remainder operation can be done using percent operator, mod method or rmod method. Exponentiation can be done using double asterisk, power or r power. Fill value is used to fill the existing NaN values in the series with a valid value. If it is not done, then these operations on a NaN will result in a NaN. Let us take some examples. S1 is a series which is created by passing the list of marks L2 as the data and the list of names L1 as the index. S2 is a series which is created by passing the list of marks L3 as the data and the list of names L1 as the index. This is series S1 and this is series S2. The statement print S1 slash 2 will divide each element of the series S1 by 2 and will give the results in decimals, as shown here in the output. The value for Kirat, which is a NaN, when divided by 2 will result in a NaN. The next statement, print S1 integer division 2, will divide each element of the series S1 by 2 and will give the result which is rounded off to the integer or the floor value. So you can see that the value for Lisha, which was 187.5 for true division, is 187.0 for the integer division. The next statement, print S2.div 3, fill value equal to 100. We'll first replace all the NaN in the series S2 with 100 and then divide each element by 3 to give the results in decimals. The value for Dhairya, which was a NaN, will be replaced by 100 and the result will be 100 divided by 3, that is 33.33. The next statement, print S1 S2, will multiply each element of the series S1 by 2 and will give the results in decimals. The value for Kirat, which was a NaN, when multiplied by 2 will result in a NaN. The next statement, print S2 dot multiply 2, fill value equal to 0. We'll first replace the NaN values in the series S2 with a 0 and then multiply each element by 2. The value for Dhairya, which was a NaN, will be 0 multiplied by 2, that is 0. The next statement, print S2 modulo 2, will again divide each element of the series S2 by 2 and will give the remainder. The remainder operation on a NaN will also result in a NaN. Some other operations on a numeric series are series.mean, that gives the average or the mean of the numeric values in the series. Series.median, which gives the central value of the sorted series. If the number of values in the series is even, it gives the average of the two central values. Series.quantile. Quantile are cut points that divide the series into equal sized groups. The value of Q lies between 0 and 1. There is one fewer quantile than the number of groups created. Median is at 0.50 and divides the series into two equal parts. Quartiles are at 0.25, 0.50 and 0.75. They divide the series into four equal parts. Continuing with our example of series S1 and S2, let us apply these functions on the series. The statement print S1.mean will first find the sum of all not null values in the series S1 and then divide it with the number of not null values in the series S1 to give the average or the mean of the series S1 as 323. The next statement print S2.median will first arrange the series S2's not null values in ascending order. Then it will give the central value 370 as the median of the series S2. The next statement print S1.quantile will by default give the 0.5 quantile, that is the median of the series. It will arrange the not null values in the series S1 in ascending order and will then give the central value, which is 310, as the 0.5 quantile of the series S1. The next statement print S1.quantile a list of values 0.25, 0.50 and 0.75 will give us the quantiles Q1, Q2 and Q3. Q2 will be the central value of the series S1, that is 310. Q1 will be the central value of the upper half of the series, that is 290. And Q3 will be the central value of the lower half of the series, that is 360. Head and tail functions. Series.head returns the first n rows from the series. If the value of n is not specified, then it returns the topmost 5 rows. Series.tail returns the last n rows from the series. If n is not given, then it returns the 5 rows from the bottom. Let us take some examples. S1 is a series which is created from the ND array ARR. S2 is a series which is created from the list of names L1. S3 is a series which is created from the list of names L1 and indexes from the ND array ARR. S4 is a series which is created from the list of marks L2 and the indexes from the list of names L1. S5 is a series which is created from a dictionary. Now let us look at the print commands. Print S1.head will by default return the topmost 5 rows from the series S1 as shown here. Print S2.head2 will return the topmost 2 rows from the series S2 as shown here. Print S3.tail will by default return the 5 rows from the bottom of the series S3 as shown here. Print S4.tail3 will return only the 3 rows from the bottom of the series S4 as given here. Print S5.tail1 will return the bottommost row, that is Simran 423. Selection. Rows can be selected from a series based upon a condition using the relational operators greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, and not equal to, and the logical operators or and. Continuing with our example of the series S1, S2, S3, S4 and S5, now let us look at some of these print commands. Print S1 within square brackets S1 modulo 2 equal to 0 will print only those rows from the series S1 which satisfy this condition. That is, the values are divisible by 2 as shown here. The next statement, print S2 within square brackets the condition S2 equal to Hansika or S2 equal to Lisha will print only those rows from the series S2 where the values are either Hansika or Lisha as shown here. The next statement, print S3 within square brackets the condition S3 not equal to Lisha will print all the rows from the series S3 where the name is not Lisha. Print S4 within square brackets the condition S4 is less than 300 will print all those rows from the series S4 where the values are less than 300 as shown here in the output. The next command, print S5. The condition S5 is greater than equal to 300 and S5 is less than 350 will print all those rows where the values lie within this range 300 to 350 as shown here. Indexing. iLog uses integer-based indexing to select rows. We need to specify the start value, the stop value and the step value separated by colons within the square brackets. Continuing with our previous example, let us have a look at these print statements. Print s1.ilog 0:4:1 will start the selection from the 0th row and will stop before the 4th row. Step value is 1. So it will display all the rows from the 0th row till the 3rd row as shown here in the output. The next statement, print s1.ilog 2 will by default start the selection from the 0th row and will go till the last row. The step value is 2. So it will display all alternate rows from the series S1. That is the 0th row, the 2nd row and the 4th row as shown here in the output. The next statement, print s2.ilog ::1 will again start the selection from the 0th row, will go till the last row, but the step value is negative. So it will step backwards. It will display all the rows from the last row to the first row in reverse order as shown here in the output. The next statement, print s3.ilog :-3 will start the selection from the 0th row and will stop before the third last row. So it will display the rows from the series S3 until the third last row as shown here in the output. The next statement, print s4.ilog -3: will start the selection from the third last row and will go till the end of the series. So from the series S4, all the rows from the third last row onwards will be displayed in the output as shown here. The next command, print s5.ilog 2:5 will start the selection from the second row and will stop before the fifth row. So it will display the row with indexes 2, 3 and 4 as shown here in the output. The slicing operator also uses integer-based indexing to select rows. We need to specify the start value, stop value and the step value separated by colons within the square brackets. Continuing with our previous example, let us have a look at these print statements. Print s1 0:5 will start the selection from the row index 0 and will stop before the row index 5. It will display all the rows from the index 0 to the index 4 as shown here in the output. The next statement, print S2 minus 2 colon, will start the selection from the second last row and will select all the rows till the end of the series. So it will display the last two rows from the series S2. The next statement, print S3 within square brackets a list of indexes. So it will select the rows with the indexes 1202, 1204 and 1206 only as shown here in the output. The next statement, print S4 with again a list of indexes as shown here. The index labels are Anish, Hansika and Lisha. So it will display only the rows with these indexes as shown here in the output. The next statement, print S5 colon colon minus 1, will by default start the selection from the 0th row, will select all the rows till the end of the file, but the step value is negative. So it will move backwards, that is, it will start selecting the rows from the last row till the first row in reverse order as shown here in the output. Unlike iLock, Lock uses label-based indexing. Both the start value and the stop value are included in the selection. Let us take an example. S1 is a series which is created from the list L2 as the data and the list L1 as the index. S2 is another series which is created from the dictionary D as the data. This is series 1 and this is series 2. The statement print s1.lock dharye colon will start the selection from the row labeled dharye and will select all the rows till the end of the series. The next statement, print s2.lock riya colon simran, will start the selection from the row labeled riya and will select all the rows up to the row labeled simran as shown here in the output.